Right now, a Dane County deputy hopes his story about drivers putting his life in danger can convince people to slow down and move over. And an adult and an 8-year-old narrowly escaped being hit by bullets in their own home. We'll hear from Madison's interim police chief.
This is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. Charlotte is off tonight. It has not been a good work week for a Dane County deputy. Twice now, cars smashed into his truck, and tonight he's asking for everyone to do something simple. Jamie Perez rode along with him today. And Jamie, what exactly happened?
So the deputy told me that he was pulled over off the side of the roads, his lights were flashing, and somebody came up and smashed into his car door. The very next day, same thing, pulled over, lights flashing, somebody ended up rear-ending him. Every day, Eric Novotny makes sure this 16-mile stretch of Beltline stays safe for everyone.
And here's one right now.
He's called out to clear debris up to 24 times a day, a task that a simple law should make easier.
The law specifically says that when you see an emergency vehicle, any vehicle that has flashing lights, they're required to move over first.
But he knows many drivers don't.
Like right now, if you turn around, you've got vehicles that are coming really fast behind you. And they should all be slowing down. But they're not. And that puts my life in danger.
Wisconsin's move over law has been on the books for years now. Drivers can face a $360 ticket and even 6 points against your record.
He could move over right now, but he doesn't.
But during an 8-hour shift, this happens way too often. In fact, Novotny was hit twice this week.
I can't even get into my own truck safely. I have to wave at them to move over. A line of 6 vehicles just passing us right now. They're not even slowing down.
Novotny says during his near 20 years of doing this, he sees plenty of violations.
They choose not to do that because they have to work on actually moving from one lane to another lane. But if they don't do that, I might not be able to go home at the end of the shift.
Getting home to his family is something that's on Novotny's mind every day. And now he's hoping that's on your mind the next time you pass him.
I wish a lot more people would maybe listen to your story, listen to the PSAs that the Department of Transportation puts out, and just, when you see emergency lights, get away from them as far as possible, and then you'll be safe.
Novotny says that if you are not able to get over to the next lane safely and in time, then you need to slow to a crawl when you're passing those emergency vehicles on with flashing lights. He says at the end of the day, he wants everyone, including himself, to be able to make it home safely.
Such an important safety reminder. Jamie Perez along Beltline. Jamie, thank you. Chilly tonight, frost possible in some areas. Let's get that first weekend forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Yeah, areas north of Madison could see some patchy frost in places where temperatures dip into the upper 30s. Mainly low-lying areas, I think, would be the main areas affected, or north of the Dells. Edgewater Skycam right now, the live view showing bright sunshine over southern Wisconsin, but we're getting close to sunset. Now it's about 7 p.m., and you can see on visible cloud track, there are a few fair weather cumulus clouds that popped up today, but those have since dissipated. Last night, temperatures were in the lower to middle 40s from much of southern Wisconsin to the north and west. Camp Douglas was at 39, Black River Falls into the upper 20s. Temperatures right now are right around 60 degrees, give or take a degree or two either side of that, but a frost advisory has been issued tonight for Juno and Adams counties north of the Dells from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's where frost is most likely. Here in Madison, we'll probably drop to around 40 degrees, so that would probably prevent frost from forming. Tomorrow will be another sunny and cool day with a high of 63. Milder weather's on the way for next week. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating a death in Madison. Officials say about 11:15 last night, a Monona officer was following a reckless driver starting in Monona. The vehicle crashed on Moreland Road at Southtown Drive in Madison. Investigators say the driver got out of that vehicle. Police gave commands for them to cooperate. Driver then got back into the car, and the officer heard a single gunshot from the vehicle. Police attempted life-saving measures, but the driver died at the scene. The DOJ says law enforcement did not fire any shots during this incident. The investigation is ongoing. Officials say, though, at this time they believe the death was, quote, not a result of an officer's actions or omissions. Back in June, we reported on a case where Monona police officers entered a home with guns drawn and handcuffed the 23-year-old man who was living there with a friend. After confirming the man was allowed to be there, police apologized and released him. Well, now that renter, Keontae Furge, is suing the city of Monona and the 2 officers involved. The lawsuit says the officers intruded into the home after a neighbor called to report a black man was sitting on the porch, and she felt it was suspicious because she thought the house was supposed to be vacant. The lawsuit is looking to establish that what happened was more than just a misunderstanding. It was a constitutional rights violation. It looks to effect change with, quote, hope that the punishment is significant enough to prevent this from happening again in the future so that a person can move into a formerly vacant house in the city of Monona and sit on his porch without having to fear that the police will break in and shoot him. Some people living in a West Side Madison neighborhood are wondering tonight if they'll hear gunshots for a 3rd straight night. Last night's shooting almost hit an 8-year-old. Maddie O'Neill spoke with neighbors and the police chief. She's live near Lorene and Hammersley tonight. Maddie?
Well, the neighbors we spoke with here say they heard several gunshots last night and also heard gunshots the night before. Last night, bullets shattered a house's window and went directly over the heads of an adult and that 8-year-old child. The child has a minor injury from broken glass, according to police. Now, those living at the home didn't want to do an interview, but showed us the damage. Interim Police Chief Vic Wall says we're still seeing gun violence at an unacceptably high level, on pace to break records. He had hoped that the death of 11-year-old Anissa Scott last month would make shooters think twice.
Hope was that by seeing the worst possible outcome that could happen from that behavior, it might cause them to pause and reconsider. And certainly, if it had that effect at all, it was very short-lived.
Wall tells me that coming into September, Madison recorded more than 175 shots fired incidents so far this year, an 85% increase over last year. Each one of those, he says, could have killed someone. Now, police are still looking for who was behind this and say they're also looking into other incidents within this time frame to see if they might be connected.
Maddie O'Neill on the West Side tonight. Maddie, thank you. Developing tonight, Department of Workforce Development Secretary Caleb Frostman has resigned at Governor Evers' request. His resignation effective immediately. Since the beginning of the pandemic, DWD has been overloaded with unemployment claims. The governor says people are struggling to make ends meet, and, quote, it is unacceptable that Wisconsinites continue to wait for the support they need during these challenging times. DOC Secretary Amy Pajicek will lead the department's transition until a new secretary is appointed. Wisconsin has once again set a new record for single-day COVID-19 cases. The state added 2,400 cases today, bringing the total case count above 97,000. The last record set yesterday was about 2,000 new cases in 24 hours, and 5 more people have passed away. The positivity rate continues to grow, now at 19.4%. That's an increase from yesterday's 17.8%. The 7-day average sits around 15%. And Monroe High School will be holding classes virtually for the next 2 weeks after an increase in cases. A memo from the district administrator says 3 staff members and 4 students at the high school have now tested positive. An additional 14 students and 8 staff are in quarantine. Across the rest of the Monroe district, 13 students and 3 staff are in quarantine, but no other positive cases have been identified. Today is National Prisoner of War Missing in Action Day, and at the state capitol, Wisconsin leaders unveiled the POW MIA Chair of Honor for service members unable to sit in them due to their own sacrifices.
In Wisconsin, we believe strongly that every person must have a seat at the table of democracy. And this seat, which we're about to unveil, reminds us that any decisions made in this Capitol must consider the service member that is not yet returned, and to factor into the equation the interests of all those individuals and their families who are still either POW or MIA.
The chair is part of the Veterans Monument on the first floor of the Rotunda. Due to the pandemic, the ceremony was not open to the public. State officials plan to have a rededication ceremony next year on the 1-year anniversary of the chair, featuring an honor guard, military band, and veterans, along with their friends and families. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be at the state capitol next week to speak to legislative, business, and military leaders. He's scheduled to speak in the Senate chamber Wednesday morning. Pompeo's visit comes a week after President Trump and Vice President Pence both visited Wisconsin for campaign events. The Washington Post is reporting former Governor Scott Walker is working with Vice President Pence on debate preparation. The paper says he's been playing a role of his opponent, Senator Kamala Harris, during practice sessions. Walker has declined to comment on any ongoing work with the vice president, but told the Post, quote, I worked with him 4 years ago and was happy to help. The vice presidential debate will be held October 7th at the University of Utah. And coming up next at 6, a Madison woman says growing plants runs in her family. Now she's sharing that skill with the community. Why she's she's offering pay what you can plants. Next, stay with us.
Ashley Home Store's 4-day semi-annual customer appreciation sale is on with a deal we've never offered before and may never be able to offer again. Hurry in, this sale can't be extended through Monday only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Celebrate and save during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 65th anniversary sale going on now. To commemorate 65 years, we're offering incredible anniversary savings throughout the store. Like $20 off this pillow pet bed, just $14.99. Steelworks welding stock is 15% off. And Morton Clean and Protect softener pellets are just $4.99. Don't miss incredible 65th anniversary savings. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Drive-through flu shots are now at Hy-Vee. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy now has a drive-through flu shot clinic, so you don't even have to leave your car to get your flu shot. It's fast and convenient, and there's no appointment necessary. Check with your local store for flu shot clinic hours. And you can still get your flu shot safely inside the store anytime the pharmacy is open, with no appointment necessary. Get your flu shot, plus earn a 20-cent fuel saver, only at Hy-Vee. Some restrictions apply.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
One word?
Anxious.
Anxious. Yeah.
Because we see what this president is currently doing. We've got 170,000 Americans dead because of COVID. There's this lack of trust.
This country is starving for good leadership right now.
Big thing that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris can do is just rebuild trust.
I'm not going to agree with everything that anyone says. My wife will tell you that from the beginning. But who do I trust my children's future to? I trust Joe Biden more than anyone else.
During the 4-day customer appreciation sale at Ashley Home Store, we're offering a mattress deal so good, we've never offered it before, and we may never be able to again. Hurry, it's through Monday only at Ashley Home Store. This is home. You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Madison schools are trying to get the word out that they have food for students. The numbers are in from the first week of its new meal program. About 1 in 8 students picked up meals. The district also served up more than 5,000 breakfasts and lunches to students at daycare centers. Now here's a picture of what families are picking up. Once a week, each student gets enough food for 5 breakfasts and 5 lunches. District leaders say they're following national nutrition guidelines, also trying to avoid waste here. To find out how to sign up and where you can pick up meals, head to the Channel 3000 Facebook page. We've had 121 new donations today to our Coats for Kids campaign, bringing the total to 558. If you have a coat, a hat, scarf, or gloves gathering some dust in the closet, consider donating them to local children and adults who need them. To drop them off, you can use the drive-through option at most Clinky Cleaners locations. That campaign will end on October 10th. We have a Do Something Good story to share with you tonight. A Madison woman has found a way to brighten people's day during the pandemic. She's offering pay what you can plants. Melissa O'Brien is a nurse by trade, so she enjoys taking care of things. During the pandemic, that turned into caring for plants and then propagating more plants, finally putting them outside her home on East Johnson to share with others.
I think the most important thing is that it brings joy to people during these dark times. Life is so complicated right now, and people are struggling, and you wouldn't believe how much joy I see in people's faces when they find a plant that's right for them.
A sign outside says to leave a donation or take a plant for free. O'Brien uses that money to buy more plants and containers to put them in. She's focused on reducing the carbon footprint, so she's purchasing teapots, pitchers, coffee cups, even a vintage urinal from local thrift shops to serve as pots. Still ahead tonight at 6, how a local church is helping quarantined college students. And ahead of their home opener, the Packers are asking the community to do their part so that fans can eventually return to the stands. Plus, chilly temperatures tonight, cool through the weekend. Gary has your First Warn forecast.
Joe Biden tried to cut Social Security and Medicare for decades.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Now, Biden's promising your benefits to illegal immigrants. President Trump is protecting Social Security and Medicare, lowering costs, expanding access, keeping his word.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale ever has been extended. These are the final days to get incredible deals on furniture you love. Save 35% store-wide, free in-carton shipping, and take 5 years to pay with Steinhaffel's special financing. This is your last chance to take advantage of Labor Day pricing on living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture, plus all of our mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beauty Rest. Hurry in. This is your last chance to save big during Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale.
Let us help you create your family's recipe for health. SSM Health and News 3 Now are making it easy by putting all the ingredients right at your fingertips. With topics like healthy habits, nutrition, and mental well-being, there's something for everyone. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page for advice from SSM Health experts.
And catch fresh and informative reports on News 3 Now.
Take time for kids with SSM Health and News 3 Now.
If I'm your president, on day one, we'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll develop and deploy rapid tests with results available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. We'll make them here in America. We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning. Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect America. And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
With just over 1 week done in their dorm room quarantine, a local church thought UW-Madison students in Whitty and Celery residence halls might need some support. Blackhawk Church has created an adopted dorm program, and today they dropped off packages of snacks and handwritten notes of support to the students who are stuck inside.
Well, students might feel alone right now in the dorm behind me and Celery right across the way, that they're not actually alone. They might feel physically distant, but they're not relationally distant. And really, this became a huge community thing. Like, the community of Madison stepped up. We have like over 1,000 big packs of snacks each.
Well, there's a pack of snacks for each student in the 2 quarantine dorms and more than 1,000 handwritten notes to let students know the community is on the outside cheering for them. On Sunday, the Packers face the Lions. It's an NFC North battle at noon. Charlie Rubeski has an inside look at the home opener preparations underway in Titletown.
Game day at Lambeau Field typically means 80,000 screaming fans. Thousands fill the stadium's front rows, but tarps are taking their place on Sunday. The parking lots will also remain closed to tailgaters.
We certainly understand there's a desire to connect, and people are finding new ways to do that.
Obviously, this year will be a little bit different, so maybe we'll do just kind of like a outside the house kind of tailgate situation.
Area sports bars are preparing to serve more people than ever before.
We're definitely going to be ready for it, but it's quite the possibility that people are going to come, they're going to have their food, they're going to pregame here.
The Packers have not decided whether to let fans into Lambeau after the first 2 home games.
We know where the numbers are in Brown County, we know where they are statewide. Mark Murphy's talked about continuing to evaluate that.
I think everybody's pretty anxious about it, so hopefully they'll give us an answer so we know whether we're going to be able to get in there or not.
Packers Public Affairs Director Aaron Popke is calling on the community to do its part so fans can come back.
We continue to encourage people to model all the proper behavior with masking and distancing, all those things that we know they do well to keep the numbers down.
Popke says even though this year is different than others, the passion for the Packers is still there.
The DNR is asking thousands of deer hunters to record what they see in the woods this fall. It's part of the department's largest ever hunter survey to better understand why they're passing up shots. The DNR plans to contact more than 130,000 hunters by email and ask them to keep an online diary for 3 days, tracking details like how many hours they spent in the woods, how many deer they saw, how many they shot, and how many they killed. Gary's back now. He has a complete look at his first warn forecast for the weekend. Gary?
We're continuing to watch the tropics. You know, we're just barely past the halfway point of the Atlantic hurricane season, and 3 more named storms came into being today. We have Tropical Storm Wilfred, which is to the southeast of very powerful Hurricane Teddy. Subtropical Storm Alpha has formed in the eastern Atlantic up near Portugal and Spain. That's actually going to move inland over the next day or so. And then in the Gulf of Mexico, this area of disturbed weather has now become Tropical Storm Beta. We've run out of names in the Atlantic basin for hurricanes, so now we're into the Greek alphabet, Alpha and Beta so far. Tropical Storm Beta right now, maximum sustained winds 40 miles per hour. It's in the western Gulf of Mexico. The forecast from the National Hurricane Center has it just kind of meandering toward the Texas coast, perhaps becoming a minimal hurricane, but then moving slowly along the Texas coast as we move into Tuesday and Wednesday. Slow movement means that wind isn't going to be the big problem. It's going to be heavy rain, perhaps along the Texas Gulf Coast and maybe even toward Louisiana toward the end of next week. And some of that moisture could eventually reach us by next weekend, giving us our first chance of rain in almost 2 weeks. Tonight will be cool with patchy frost across the area. 3 things you need to know. Tomorrow will be cool as well with sunny skies, but we won't be as cool on Sunday with temperatures back up into the upper 60s to around 70, and we'll be dry and mild for next week with high temperatures in the 70s, so we'll be back above normal. But tonight there is a frost advisory north of Wisconsin Dells for Juno and Adams counties from 1 p.m. until 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, as well as much of central Wisconsin. Northern Wisconsin has already had a hard freeze, so no advisories there. Weather track right now shows our upper level winds a little more from the northwest. That has allowed the air to kind of clear out. That wildfire smoke has gone away for at least for time being, because our winds are coming more out of central Canada than from the western part of the United States. But eventually that jet stream will flatten out, and that will start sending some more wildfire smoke our way next week. Meanwhile, there is Beta down in the Gulf of Mexico. Again, the jet stream's kind of staying to the north of it, so it'll be a slow mover, and eventually some of that moisture may make it this far north, but it'll be almost a week and a half from now. Weather track right now across the Midwest. Again, upper level winds from the northwest, high pressure located just to our north. Temperatures are very cool across our part of the country, but you can see on future track those light winds start to shift around to the south tomorrow. That'll get temperatures at least back up into the lower 60s. The southerly winds will continue for tomorrow night. Then as we head into Sunday, those winds will pick up out of the south and southeast. That will bring temperatures into the upper 60s to around 70, and the temperatures will continue to warm from there on forward. So again, frost advisory, Juno and Adams County, 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. For tomorrow, sunny skies, not quite as cool as today, but still 63 below normal for this time of year. 7 to 10 day forecast, 68 on Sunday, 70s for next week. Again, rain chances push back to Saturday night and Sunday. Even those are kind of iffy, but hopefully we'll get some rain by that point.
And coming up in sports, Giannis goes back-to-back with league MVP honors. The elite company he joined in the process. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Lately, we've come to appreciate what home has to offer. Right now at Feldco, buy 1 window and you'll get 1 free, plus no interest for 1 year. That'll help keep your home and your family warm, safe, and comfortable all year long. That's something we've been providing for almost 50 years. Let Feldco get you ready for colder weather. Buy 1 window, get 1 free now.
Final days, hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Slumberland's huge Labor Day sale ends Saturday. Don't miss out on updating your home for less. Get this stylish, comfy sectional for just $9.98 and get the storage ottoman free. Or an incredible price on this highly recommended Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress for just $4.49. If you've been waiting for our very best deals, this is it. But these deals are only till Saturday. Plus, get free shipping with no minimum. You don't want to miss this one. The Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
It's no secret, Robertson is Wisconsin's aesthetic leader. But with results this natural, patients can keep it a secret if they want. Our secret to reducing stubborn body fat? Cool Sculpting. Book a free consultation to learn how Cool Sculpting is different at Robertson.
I've spent better than half my life and most of my adult life, in the military. 2016, I voted for Donald Trump. Leaders are responsible for everything their organization does or fails to do. When I saw those commercials about, this is what a Biden presidency will bring. No, this is what you have brought. Everything that we have going on today, that's on you. Joe Biden is the first Democrat I'll vote for president. You want a commander-in-chief you can trust, and I think you can trust Joe Biden.
AB PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
For our seniors, Social Security is a sacred obligation, a sacred promise made. The current president is threatening to break that promise. He's proposing to eliminate a tax that pays for almost half the Social Security without any way of making up for that lost revenue. I will not let that happen. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Hi, folks. Saturday morning, locally owned businesses need your help now more than ever.
We'll explain several ways you can support them this weekend and get something out of it for yourself. Join us Saturday at 5 and 8.
Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon are the only players in NBA history to be named MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. That is until this year, because Giannis added his name to that list. The Bucks superstar took home his second straight MVP award today, and the voting wasn't even close. Giannis had 85 first-place votes. The next closest was LeBron James with only 16. The last time Wisconsin took the field was the Rose Bowl. They didn't get a spring football, and and now they have a little over a month to get ready for a 9-game season with no bye week. But none of that matters to these guys, because the Badgers get to play the game they love. Now, the hitting might take a bit to get used to again, but the guys made one thing clear. They'll be ready for kickoff.
If we didn't have it this fall, I didn't really know what I'd be doing. I'd probably be pretty bored, not used to this much free time or anything. But yeah, it's just an exciting opportunity, and an opportunity to play a sport we love.
We made sure we stayed prepared, the last coming months, just because, who knows what could have happened. And it came out a little earlier than a lot of us expected, and I know a lot of the guys are ready.
The Packer defense will have to slow down Adrian Peterson and the Lions without Kenny Clark. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur officially ruled his D-tackle out for Sunday's home opener. Clark missed all 3 practices this week after leaving the Vikings game in the second quarter with a groin injury. The Madison Capitals will not be taking the ice this year. Due to Dane County's restrictions with COVID-19, the Caps can't play or host fans. So the franchise made a decision to suspend operations for the upcoming season. Madcaps owner Ryan Suter said, "This is an extremely difficult decision for our organization, as we are deeply disappointed for our players, fans, and the Madison community." That's a bummer, and they just got a new head coach in April, so he's probably like,
another victim to the pandemic. We've seen far too many.
Yes.
All right, Zach, thank you. Let's go to Gary. One final check of the weekend first warn forecast.
Well, the live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows clear skies. That's kind of what we're looking for this weekend. Temperatures right now, 60 in Madison, lower 60s to our south, upper 50s already to the north. Frost advisory for Juno and Adams counties from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for some patchy frost there. Tomorrow, sunny skies, high temperature at 63, but warm up on the way for the end of the weekend and for all of next week. Next chance of rain later next weekend.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a great evening. We'll see you back here at 9 at 10.